Hey everyone, we are today going to get our house in order, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, we're getting our house in order because we're all about staying ready so we don't have to get ready, about staying prepared. And I am going to walk you through one of the ways that we can do that. So, first, let me introduce myself. I may have to do it again later. Hey everyone, what's up? I am Kim, aka Kim with the Gems. And on this channel, we drop gems about everything related to wellness, travel, and money, honey. And we do it all from a cultural perspective, a cultural point of view. And one of the things that we need to address is how our culture is lacking, how we are lacking in certain areas that we can't afford to lack in anymore. And what it comes down to is getting our house in order. Do you know that $68 trillion, let me say that one more time, $68 trillion is the amount of wealth that Black Americans transfer out of our communities, what we're at risk of transferring out of our communities over the next 20 years. And all of that is due, at least in part, to the lack of estate planning. And that's just simply not okay. Simply not okay. And it's also one of the reasons why our net worth is expected to be zero, goose egg by the year 2053. But the great thing is, you don't know what you don't know, but once you know, you can course correct, you can change that. And so we don't want to see $68 trillion be transferred out of our communities over the next 20 years due to something that we can control. And so tonight, we're going to talk about that and how we can control it. And let me just start by saying the main reason why I decided to have this live immediately, expeditiously, is because we just came out of a course, a MAGA course, our Maximize Assets, Grow Abundance, Wealth Accelerator course this past Saturday, where our expert, our guest speaker, is a estate planning expert. And she dropped a whole bunch of gems, y'all, a whole bunch of gems. And so many people were excited about the conversation and excited about taking the next step to making sure that their legacy is secured. Now, one of the issues and challenges one of the issues is that the term estate planning can sound a little scary to people, right? I know me, the first time I heard the word estate, I could think of, I went to, spending time in the South, you go to yard sales and you go to estate sales. Quite different experiences. Estate sales tend to have been a lot more grandiose, a lot more valuable items, more expensive items would be showcased. And if you could get you a good deal at an estate sale, that was like an investment, right? You find you a baccarat crystals, for $25. We're talking, $2, $5, $7. That was like the high end, $7, right? And so I think when it comes to estate planning, we need to take the hoity-toityness out of the word, right? I'm trying to think of words that mirror what I thought about when I thought of estate, the word estate before. And the word estate just means accumulation, right? Accumulation of everything that you own. And it doesn't have to be expensive stuff. It doesn't have to be, a $50 million house. It could be a couch that was gifted to you from your grandmother that has some type of value, right? Some type of value to you. And it's up to you to discern, to determine what that value is. But it's an accumulation of everything that you own, not that it has to be, a whole bunch of money in the bank or a whole bunch of expensive things. And so that's kind of like my mission tonight, like making sure that we understand the basics of getting our house in order and what that can look like. And let me just see who we got. Is anybody here from the Maximize Assets, Grow Abundance course? Let me see. Yep, I see some of my people. Hey, Shell, yes. Hey, Christine, my moderator's in the house. Hey, Diane, another Maximize Assets, Grow Abundance member. Hey, Moni, good to see you. Hey, Janet. Janet is another one of our Maximize Assets, Grow Abundance members. Hey, Cynthia, another one. Hey, Anita, we are in the building, y'all, tonight. Thank you for joining. Again, this was supposed to take place yesterday, but when I looked up and saw it was almost 2:00 and I still had 10 things on my to-do list, I had to push that back. So I thank you for joining tonight. I hope that this is informative and that you're able to share this information with your loved ones, because let me just say, we did and I'm gonna try to pull it up. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. The survey that we did from the Maximize Assets, Grow Abundance course, one of the questions was, do you have a will or a trust? Do you have a will? Do you have a trust? Neither. I think that was it. 78% of the students in the course have neither. That is not good. That is not good. And that is why it was also very important for me to include experts in this area to make sure that we get on track. Another thing, I mentioned it, I did a quick walk and talk earlier. A lot of White people understand the importance of this and allow, or not allow, but mandate that their children, and when I say children, between the ages of 18 and 21, have their estates planned out, their assets planned out. And so we need to start mimicking those moves, or else that $68 trillion is out of here. And if you missed what I said about the $68 trillion, you have to rewatch it. It's at the top of the video. But I kind of wanted to go through what exactly an estate plan can look like. And what we're going to do is kind of talk about, well, we started talking about some of the myths versus the facts, right, when it comes to estate planning. And me personally thinking that the word estate can be intimidating for us, some of us, because we think estates just something too grandiose, and that's not what it is. Matter of fact, I'm going to look up the definition for estate in a second and share what that means. But I also want to discuss the most important areas that we need to look at when we're making sure we protect those assets, right? And then also the potential financial impact when we aren't preparing an estate plan. And then how can we course correct? So kind of talked about, what happened Saturday, which led me to this conversation. Let me just go ahead and ask, if you are not following this community, go ahead and subscribe now. If you're watching right now, especially if you're in any of my communities, so the Flawless Gym Nation, the Maximize Assets, Grow Abundance course, you should have hit that like button already. Do me the biggest favor, share this with somebody. And even if it's just what you learned, if you don't share the video, share what you learned with somebody, because this is not a game. If there's anything we should have learned from 2020, is that you just never know. Just never know. You just never know when something can happen. And so it's always better to be prepared. And we're not just talking about the estate plan, the actual estate plan, right? We're talking about when it comes to things, we're talking about your living will. We're talking about your health proxy, and we're talking about your power of attorneys. And I shared this earlier back in November. This is part of the Stay Ready movement. And I'm curious to know, let me know if you're in the chat right now, if you're in the, audience right now. I just want to take a quick survey. If you have a will, just put yes. If you don't have a will, put no. And I'm just curious to see, of the people here today, how many of us, have taken that step. But I'm going to show you this one more time. This is a very inexpensive book that you can get off of Amazon. The last I looked, I think it was I looked yesterday. I think it was like $11. And I'm going to walk you through what's inside. And so let me just see. So StreamYard has totally updated their system. I really can't believe they have this in beta. And anyway, oh, hey, Lifting As We Climb. Good to see you. Hey, Show About Nothing. Good to see you back. Shalonda, I know who it is. I just remember I told you I love that day. So, and I started following you. Oh, hey, Charlotte, another one of the Maximize Assets, Grow Abundance crew. Let me see. Okay, so D has a living will. Yes, congratulations. Christine said no to the will or the trust. Lifting As We Climb. Yes, you have a will and living trust. Wonderful. Shell Yes says no. Legacy Established. Say now, how do you have a name like Legacy Established and your answer is no? Is it legacy getting established or being established? But yes, you have, in order for your legacy to be established, we got to get this will or trust together. Cynthia says no. Charlotte says yes, you have a will and you plan to update. Wonderful. Miss G says no. Hey, Miss G. Anita says no, but you have been researching the topic. Good, good, good. That's the first step, right? That's an action step. Researching is an action. Oh, you have a trust. Oh, okay. Wonderful, wonderful. I think that's what you're saying. But the research is the first step to any action, or any smart action, I should say. So I'm happy to hear that you're doing the research, because you do have to do research, right? It's not just something that you wake up one day and say, I'm going to put this together and it's done. The good news is, though, that on average, it only takes, and I'm going to have a clickable link for y'all later, but I just want to pull up how long. If it's a standard will, you can have that done in a few hours, right? Maybe a day, depending on the amount of assets that you have. But if it is a more intense will, then that may take more time. That may take, and we're only talking a certain, we're talking days. We're not talking years or anything. So I just want to pull up this document and I could kind of walk you through it some. Hold on one second. Oh, where is it? Let me see. Well, oh, no, it was DIY. Did I not? I thought I titled it, but here it is. Okay. Okay. So basically, the first thing is understanding that there are differences, right? And you know what? I'm not gonna share this doc on the screen, but I will get it together and share a link in the description, because YouTube is changing some things and I just don't want the work anyway. So first we need to understand the difference between a will and a trust. And so I'm simply going to go over the definitions, and hopefully you won't get intimidated by the trust part, because ultimately, depending on how much stuff you have and what type of dependence you have, a trust can be the best option. But you need a will. So, a trust is a legal arrangement where a trustee holds and manages your assets for the benefit of your beneficiaries during your lifetime and then after your lifetime. A trust can help avoid probate, provide more privacy, and offer more control over how assets are distributed. The time it takes to complete a do it yourself Oh, excuse me. We're not doing a do-it-yourself trust. So give me a second on that. That was the next thing. A will, that's where I was going next. A will is a legal document that outlines how you want your assets distributed after your death. It only takes effect after you pass away and goes through the probate process. So if you don't know what the probate process is, that is when the courts basically you have to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork and they analyze your assets. They also take a percentage of the value of your assets for doing the work, right? So basically they go through everything before they distribute the assets that were left behind. A trust you can avoid that. A lot of times you can avoid that. Now a trust does cost more money. And we talked about it during Saturday's session. Depending on where you live, a trust can start at 1,000 and go up to about 3,000-4,000, depending on where you live and what your assets look, how much you've accumulated, and what your directives are, and what attorney you go to as well. Because you can do a trust yourself. It's not something I would recommend because there are so many minute details that could get you hemmed up in court after the fact. So it's always recommended that you go to a estate planning attorney who can take that off your hands. But make sure you go to a reputable one. You can, however, do DIY wills are done every day, and we're going to walk through this. And so if you do a basic do it yourself will, if you have a simple estate, it really can take you 1 to 2 hours to complete. And you can find the resources online. This is available for about 11 bucks, 11 bucks on Amazon. And I think I put the link in the description, and it's called My Family Estate Legal Document Kit. It includes your last will and testament, advanced healthcare directive, and legal power of attorney. And so I'm going to walk through the book in a second, but I just want to pull out some of the most important items that you want to look at when you are putting together a will, what you want to include. So one is your beneficiaries, of course. Who will inherit your property, your money, your assets, etc. And it doesn't have to just be family and friends. It could be charities, it could be museums, it could be colleges, it could be whatever, right? So who are your beneficiaries? Who is going to be your executor of that will? Who do you entrust that will carry out your wishes and manage your estate when you're no longer able to, or you're no longer here, excuse me. We talked about this, guardianship for minor children. If you have young children, have you designated a guardian to care for them? Now, we're not talking about godmama who stood up at the church. We're talking a person who has been legally authorized to care for your children in case something happens, so that the transfer of guardianship is seamless versus somebody having to go and fight, for your children or your grandchildren. You also need to include your assets and property. You need to clearly list your belongings, including your home, your savings, your investments, your personal items, your heirlooms, whatever you consider your asset and property, that needs to be included. And then you want to specify who gets what. There is a link, I believe, in the description in my resource list of resources, there is a Know Your Net Worth guide where it breaks down everything that could be considered an asset and how to find them, how to locate them. So locate the value of them, I should say. And then the guide also has clickable links. It also includes, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are an author, what are your assets that may not be immediately thought of? Like, what are your creative assets? Have you written a book that you want to publish, a movie, a document, whatever? Like, these are all assets that people sometimes forget to add. Costly mistake if you don't. You also want to include your debts and liabilities, if you have any debts, loans, or credit card balances, and how they should be paid off. Your funeral wishes. You know, many of us grew up not talking about stuff like this, right? And then, when it's time for, Uncle Bubba to be put away and there's no money, or no one knows how to find the money, then Uncle Bubba, who never wanted to be cremated, ends up being cremated. Or Uncle Bubba, who never wanted to be buried in the ground and wanted to be cremated and have his ashes spread in his backyard. I don't know. But because those wishes were never put down in a will or put down in a legal document, then the fighting ensues, and then Uncle Bubba doesn't get what he wanted in the end. And he will come and haunt you. I'm just kidding. Alternate beneficiaries. So who are your beneficiaries in case your primary beneficiary passes away before you do? It's important to name a backup beneficiary. And it doesn't have to be a person. Like I said, it could be if you have one person who you want to leave everything to, and if they pass before you do, then maybe you want to leave that to your alma mater, or you want to leave that to the church you grew up in, or you want to leave that to a museum. That whatever your wishes are should be specified in this final last will and testament. And then if you have any gifts that you want to leave to certain people, because maybe they're not getting, any type of financial distribution, but maybe you have art, maybe you have jewelry, maybe you have something that they said they wanted, or you promised to give them, that needs to all be included, or the fights will happen and things will go by the wayside. So I want to go through the book. I am going to show you, because the price, I think it was like $11 yesterday. So I'm just going to show you, and I'm going to put the link in the chat too, if my computer catches up. Perfect. Okay. So, let me just go ahead and put the link in the chat for anybody who wants to get this book after I finish, going through it. I'm going to put it in the actual chat right now. So this is the actual book I'm going to go through. My Family Estate Legal. I'm just going to put legal. I'm not going to type anymore. So you can, it's $11. I just looked at it. Hold on. And I forgot that quick. It is currently, and we're going to go through the reviews too. So give me 1 second to pull it up. For some reason, this computer is moving real slow right now, but I am going to pull it up so you can see exactly what they're saying about this document. Okay. And then I'm going to check your comments in a second. If you have a question, put a Q in front of the question and I will get to you momentarily. So now I'm going to pull up what the people are saying on Amazon about this document. Give me 1 second. Hopefully you can see the screen. I think you can. So as you can see, out of 5 stars, 5 stars and over 1,000 ratings, it's a 4.4. It is actually on sale, 10% off right now for $11.69. You can't beat that with a baseball bat. And it's the Know Your Net Worth guide is a great companion, because the Know Your Net Worth guide, you could put down all of your assets to go along with your last will and testament. So let's just see what the people are saying. It said, well, first it says, my family estate legal document kit includes last will and testament, healthcare proxy, and legal power of attorney. It does come in a beautiful spiral bound notebook, so it's easy to remove. So it's not like you're taking this whole book to get notarized, or maybe you can, but if you need to remove pages, you can as well. And then let's just go to some of the comments, what the people are saying, the customers are saying, and what I like to do. So this is 70%, and then I'll do another plus 17%. That's 87%, really 86%. That gives it a more than 4-star rating, which makes me believe out of okay. And you'll see people who may get a damaged product. You send it back. It's Amazon. Come on. Like, I'm not going to complain about a damaged product that costs $11 or $10, $12 that I can return. I'm more concerned about the content. So here are some of the top reviews from the United States. Here's a verified purchase, a must-have for anybody. This book is and I always look for verified purchases, because that means they have an official account and that this was someone really bought this. But it says this book is a must-have for anyone and everybody. It has a lot of information and things to prepare if someone cannot give you the information, rather it be death or illness. It also includes information you wouldn't have even thought about. Glad to have it, and be prepared. Preparation, y'all. Don't be scared, be prepared. That's the street we living on right there. Nice little book and great quality as well. Child, this is going to be such a go-to gift. People don't even know. They're going to be tired of me having them getting prepared, but that's going to be one of my go-to gifts for people who I know need it. Someone else says, super easy to use. Use this document to help kickstart the estate prep process. Easy to get started and help identify some necessary requirements. The best part is the pages are perforated, so you can remove them and take them to get notarized. Someone else says, a lot of information. I do like this, and it has helped me think through some things. They are good basic forms. And that's where we're at right now. We're talking about basic. We're talking about getting something done. What does TI say? How come I can't think of it right now? Expeditiously. We want to get this done expeditiously. Someone else said, this was December of last year. I was kind of nervous to buy this, and I'm glad I did. Give me and my family a peace of mind. Very helpful info. This is good. This info is good. I have used all material and info over and over again. So yeah, what is this? This one, it was weird because it says, has most of the information you need to make a simple will plus some things I didn't need. If you just have a small amount of property or money, this is a great way to list who gets what. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you have a lot of money too, you can use this. It's just what I think he's trying to say. It's not going to be comprehensive like a trust. And then he goes, or she, no, it's Pamela says, I'm single and my kids are getting little bit. I own my home and a retirement IRA or something like that. I also have one vehicle and some banking accounts. I don't understand. This gives a good form to follow in writing my will. The other book is the actual one I followed, though. I don't know what other book she's talking about. She bought a different one earlier that she likes much better. I went through this. Some of y'all saw me unbox it in one of my videos, and I'm a fan. I am a fan, and I don't get impressed super easy. So let's just quickly go through. You could check out I put the link in the description. I'll pin it well, I'm not going to pin it right now. I'm going to go through what's inside of here so you know whether you want it or not. I'm also going to invite you, if you're interested, to join the spring cohort of the Maximize Assets Grow Abundance. I should have had that ready to go. Maximize Assets Grow Abundance Wealth Accelerator course. We go over all this in greater detail, including the trust. You have an access to get a heavily discounted consultation with the expert who comes to talk about this. We talk about a whole lot more as it relates to money, finances, and making sure we stay ready so that we won't have to worry about the chaos and confusion that is upon us, right? And so I am going to quickly pull up the link to the Maximize Assets Grow Abundance Wealth Creator course. We're only doing one more before the summer. We're not going to do one the summertime. I think there's a lot of things that are going to happen between now and June. As you can see, people are going crazy about what's going on in the market, which if you are part of Maximize Assets Grow Abundance and you listen to what our wealth manager has shared with us, then, you would have a little bit of peace of mind, and not just our wealth manager, but all of our instructors are amazing. And I'm going to add that link right now. Here we go. Oh, Christine, I just saw you put the link for the Maximize that spring cohort. Oh, wonderful. Okay. This is a shorter one too, so I'm just going to put that there. But thank you so much, Christine, for being on top of it, as always. So yeah, we're going to do one more session before the fall. People have asked for it. It's a small class. We're not doing more than 15, 16 students, minimum 10, 15, 16 max. And it's 4 weeks. It's 4 weeks of getting yourself together and learning from some amazing individuals. So we talked about that. We talked about estate planning in last week's session, and we're going to talk about it again today because I want everybody to get started. I don't care if you have somebody who knows about this or not. This book will at least be a way for you to get started. So it starts off with the living will and testament, and I hope you can see this. So it comes in it's like divided. So the first divider is your living will and testament. The second one is your advanced directive, your advanced healthcare directive. And the thing about it is, you don't know you need an advanced healthcare directive until you need an advanced healthcare directive. You want your wishes to be known. If you are a person that does not want to be tested, like if something happens to you, and sometimes they'll say, oh, we want to use a pig's organ in your body. If you are incapacitated, but you know that is not what you want, or maybe it is what you want, make sure that is in your advanced health directive. And that also includes if you want to be resuscitated, not resuscitated, what you want to do. If you want to submit your organs to, some type of research, if that's your thing, you could include all of that as well. But I'm gonna go through some of that in a minute. Your legal power of attorney. So the best way to describe what the power of attorney is for those who don't know, your power of attorney grants someone to act on your behalf while you are alive. But once you are gone, the power of attorney is also gone. And then it goes into the estate plan, whatever that is, if it's the will, if it's the trust. But you do want a legal power of attorney. So again, if something happens where you are no longer able to speak for yourself or speak on your behalf, there is someone there who can do it for you. And it also provides a glossary with all of the terms, including advanced directive. What is an agent? What is an asset? What is an attorney in fact? Beneficiary, bequeath, devise, durable power of attorney, estate, execute, executor, fiduciary, guardian, healthcare proxy, heir, incapacitated, incompetent, and it goes on and on. So you have a glossary of terms. So if you don't understand something, but you also always have the internet to look. So it takes you through an induction. This easy to use kit is designed to take the mystery out of creating the basic legal documents every family needs, save time and money on research and legal fees, understand what it is you're paying an attorney to do for you, become familiar with what is required in order to make more informed decisions. And so it starts off again with the last will and testament. There's nothing in here. This is actually going back in the plastic and it's going to be gifted. But it allows you to understand what is a will. Why is a will called the last will and testament? How do I make a valid will? Does a will need to be notarized? And it goes on with more descriptions before you get into filling it out. And it tells you what to do before you create your last will and testament. And it's not only is it nice to look at, it's well put together. And then you could it tells you to choose your beneficiaries. I don't know if you can see that. And then you could put the names and their relations to you. And if you have good friends, if you have organizations, if you have institutions that you want to leave your stuff to, that is listed here as well. And you could start the process by, just jotting it down first, let it play in your mind. But then you get into the actual worksheet for the last will and testament before you get into the actual last will and testament. And it has a stamp saying worksheet. So you could, make mistakes, so to speak. And then next is they have a tab for the actual will and testament when you're ready to transfer the information there. And then you have an advanced healthcare directive. And if you're interested in speaking to someone, I am going to include the estate empowerment liaison that has been working with the Maximize Assets Grow Abundance group. If you're interested in working with her, she does this. This is what she, loves to do for our community. And so I'm going to include her information at the bottom. This is the Advanced Healthcare Directive. I don't know if I said that already. And it tells you, it goes through a whole bunch of frequently asked questions. I'm not going to go over that, but you can look. If you get this book, it will have all of the basic questions that you need to know, including what does an Advanced Healthcare Directive do? And everyone should have this. And you should, even if you think you're too young to need it, I just talked on my walk-in talk about a video of this young hairstylist. I can't remember where she lives. I don't know. I know how she ended up on my page because a couple people that I'm connected to, the couple people I'm connected to had liked her post. 27 years old, thought she had beat breast cancer. I want to say yesterday, she went to the hospital with chest pains only to find out that it spread throughout her body and in her bones. And she has a 4-year-old son, and she was crying hysterically and trying to stay positive, but saying all that to say 27 years old, like who expects that? So you just don't know until you know. And so advanced healthcare directives, wills, and legal power of attorneys are mandatory, absolutely mandatory when it comes to protecting your assets and keeping your house in order. I know I don't want my assets to end up with musky dusky. God forbid something happens to me, right? In the next 4 years, 8 years, however long they're going to be around. So the way to avoid that is by, and they're banking on us. They're banking on us not doing this. There's a great article. I'm not going to pull that up. Did I take the other one down? Hold on a second. There's a great article. I'll include it in the clickable link doc that I'll share later in the description, and I'll also post it in my community chat. I just want to make sure all the links are working. So before I share it, I just want to make sure the links are working. Let me see. So they give us a range. I could probably share this. Let me go ahead and share this. If YouTube acts crazy, they just act crazy. Let me see what y'all are saying. Did I say hi to Nikki? Hey, Nikki, welcome back. Yes, please, Nikki. And again, it's $11. Like, there is, even if you go to like legals, I don't even know how much LegalZoom, because I didn't look it up. When I saw that, I actually ordered this. It costs more. I ordered this from the National Archives because I was getting a copy of the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, and some other, documents. And I saw this online and I was like, okay, it costs more on their site. And then when I saw who produced it, I know Peter Parker Press really well. I didn't know they were the printers of this until I opened it up. Great company. A good friend of mine works there. It has been there for a couple decades. And I was like, oh, I got to share this. I got to share this. Once I opened it up and flipped through it, I was like, I got to share this with the world. So please, the fact that it's only $11 on Amazon, yes, please get it. Hey, LJ, welcome back. Thanks for putting the links up, Christine. I think I said that. As a MAGA member, I can attest to the value of this course, and community supersedes its cost. And about the cost, like, these are some great, it's not me. Even if it was, I would be unapologetic in whatever price I associated with it. But it's not just, it's 4 at minimum, 4 that I will confirm for the second cohort. Amazing instructors that come in to talk about global investing, what AI, cybersecurity, technology, clean energy, all of that. How is that going to look in the future, and how can we financially benefit from it? And so I'm saying all that to say it is so much meat in this course that if you pay attention and take advantage of the time with the instructors, you'll be all the better for it. And all of this noise about the market dipping will just be noise. You won't get scared. You won't get scared. You'll be prepared. So thank you for that, LJ. And congratulations on winning your consultation I think it was this past Saturday. So congratulations on that. And you can also, you can do installment payments, Afterpay and Klarna, I think. Okay. All right. Yeah. I if you sent it this weekend, I was in email jail, so to speak, meaning I had back-to-back things I needed to get through. So I'll check it out. I'm almost caught up. I have about 3 more emails to send out tonight, and then I'll check my emails. And then we had a lot of stuff going on with our communities too. You're going to get one and give 2 away to your aunties. Yes. And you know what? Let me just say this. When you give it away, how cool would it be to be like, let's go out to brunch and fill this out, or let's have mimosas at the house, and let's start the process, right? You may not get through all of it, but if you at least get through like the last will and testament or the advanced healthcare directive during a sitting, because sometimes you'll give these out and it'll sit in a bookshelf, right? No, you want people to be about that action. So when you give it to your aunties, even if it's on the phone, listen, I'm gonna call you Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, and we're going to spend 30 minutes to an hour, just me and you. You don't have to tell them what you're putting in, but that's going to be your time to work on it together. like a estate planning party. That would be so great, and that's a great gift. Thank you for sharing this important info so you can get ready. Yes, Nikki, I want us all to get ready. I want us all to get ready. And not all of us, are ready for the next step in getting a trust. It's going to listen, I've been wanting to finalize my trust for a few years now, since the panorama, let's just say. And it's almost 5 years. It was 5 years later. Well, it was probably later in 2020. I'm still not finalized, and I probably won't be finalized with the trust before the summer. But the will is ready. The will is in place. My power of attorney is in place, and my healthcare proxy is in place. So, oh, good. Oh, good, daughter. Nikki's daughter. Hey, Nikki's daughter. Let's see. And then cross out everything else, right? Put your name first. That's a smart move. That is so funny. But yeah, if 2020 did not teach us anything, it should have taught us to prepare for whatever. Do you know how many people left their homes going to the hospital thinking they were coming home, and I'm talking young people who had children, who had, things that now they still have to fight in court. I literally just ran into, I'm telling you, God makes no mistakes. I went live earlier, then I went to the supermarket, then I ran into one of my brother's friends, and he literally had a letter in his hand. And he was telling me, because his mom passed away a couple months ago. He's like, my mom's been going to this same bank ever since I was little. They all know me in there. But they're telling me I got to go through court to get her account, get the money, which is a substantial, like 6 figures, out of her bank account, because her name was the only name on the bank account. She has 3 sons, and she was the only name on the bank account. They have to get not the power of attorney. They have to go through a process to now prove that they are who they say they are, who are the heirs, right? So that's usually, decided through a court. And who's the executor, I should say, who's the executor of the account that will then distribute to everybody else? Because there's 3 sons, a beloved grandson who was like a son. And we literally are just talking about that, so, you just never know. She went to the hospital thinking she was coming home. Now she's older, but she didn't think she was not going to come home. And so making sure we have that paperwork ready to go, is important. There was something else I wanted to say. Was I going to show you this? I think I was going to show you. Hold on. I think I was going to show you this document that I am going to have ready. So yeah, okay. I want to show you what the pricing looks like when you get things done. Let me share, present. So this isn't the final one, but this is, I'm talking like I brought it up to the screen. So let's just go to, okay. So if you're looking to, that's the other thing I wanted to say. So if you start off with getting a will, you can always upgrade it to getting a trust after you are ready. Because once you create the trust, like all your bank accounts go into your name is taken off of your bank account. I shouldn't say taken off, but if you're on your bank account right now, it says Joe Schmo. It will now say in trust for Joe Schmo. So you have to do with every bank, with every financial organization that you're affiliated with, you have to update all this information into your trust. So you may not be there yet. You may not be ready to build your trust yet, but as you're getting ready, you can create that will. And then once you are ready, you can then create a trust. I 100% believe in, where's the numbers? In making sure you have a trust ultimately, but until you get there. Okay. So yeah, so if you do a DIY trust kit, it's 100 to 500. I will never recommend that ever, 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 never, ever recommend that. If you want to go to an attorney to create your trust, it's between 1,000 to 3,000 or more, depending on the complexity. And then ongoing trustee fees is 0.05, because the trustee, whoever you deem as the trustee, they get paid to be your trustee. If you could, if it's a family member, you could work that out. But if it's a professional trustee and you kind of want it to be somebody who's less biased, right? Somebody you trust but less biased, right? Not somebody like who's doing Wendy Williams dirty, right? That's the guardian. You don't want somebody like that gives you $5 to use. But it's like a job. It's like a job. And so there was the pricing also. Oh, here it is for. Thought I had the pricing in here for if you do your will yourself. Yeah, here it is. So if you do your will yourself, you can do it anywhere from $10 to $50. Listen, what, child, this is $12, less than $12. You can then, if you have to pay to get it notarized or go to a bank and get it notarized, that's could be free if you have an account at the bank, or if there's places that do free notaries, you can get it done. And I'm a notary, so and I've done these a lot. I just happen to be a mobile notary, so I tend to go to people's like homes or places of business. I don't usually go to hospitals or places like that, but to handle their private affairs. Attorney fees, if you want to create a will through an attorney, depending on where you live, it could be 100 to 500 per hour. And then when you file it, it could be 0 to 100. So some states and cities, it can be cheaper, but it really does not go into effect and start getting probated until after you pass on. So here's the breakdown of the summary cost. The summary of the cost that you would have to shell out to create a will. If you use the DIY service, get a book like this and then have to get it notarized and submit it, or if you use an attorney. And so this is going to be available soon enough. As soon as, like I said, I make sure like the clickable links are ready to go. And let me just see what y'all are saying. Let's see. I think I got that. Okay, perfect. Good. You'll order it. Wonderful. Your daughter's listening. Right? You're going. Yeah, you're going. That's so funny. Yep. Your 28-year-old cousin died from a motorcycle crash. He was law enforcement, so I believe he had papers and orders. It's mandatory in that line of work. I hope so, because especially if they're young, I don't know how mandatory it is. They may have had to like put something on their pension forms or their bank forms, but it's not always mandatory for you to have a will if you're in law enforcement. And unfortunately, I know people who, unfortunately, like you said, are no longer here, lost their lives in the line of duty, and did not have a will for their, didn't have children, and had to go through probate for the parents to receive everything. Oh, you are so welcome. You are so welcome. Listen, we started this Stay Ready movement in November, and every time I think of something that I can share with my peoples, I'm going to come on and share. I literally had to run home to make it here, by 8, to make sure I got this out today. So I truly want to help anyone who is ready to be about that action. And even if you're not, and you know somebody who is, sharing, please, 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 sharing is caring. We do not want to hoard this information. I'm not even thinking that anything crazy may happen. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying this because I think something crazy is going to happen to the country. I'm saying this because I'm seeing more and more of us just pass on whatever we tend to accumulate to the government. If you look at, matter of fact, that's one thing I am going to pull up before. Let's just see how much New York State missing money, right? You think I'm playing? I'm going to show you how much unclaimed funds that, oh, do they not even have it? It used to be on the first, oh, no, no, here we go, here we go, here we go. Let me share this. And this is just New York. Think about multiplying this by what, 50 states. Hold on a second. Okay. $137 million was returned. This is New York State. But there's $19 billion in lost money that this state is profiting off of through interest, through their investments. And that should not be the case. And there's a lot of money in here that heirs, rightful heirs, don't know exists. And you want to know how I know? Because in my original Investing for Independence course group, this was an assignment that every student had to go in and search for missing money. And they found their parents, they found their aunties, they found their missing funds, they found their grandparents, and had no idea that this money was sitting in there. Now, I'm not going to say every missing fund is millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, but guess what? It could be a couple thousand. I had missing money of over like $4,800 that I put into a brokerage account in the 90s. A few $100s that grew to 4,800 by 2020 or 2019, whenever, 2021, somewhere around there. So we want to make sure that we do our due diligence. And if there is missing funds and your heirs find out that you did have missing funds and you're no longer here, they can still claim that. They can still have access to your funds. All they have to do is fill out that they have to prove that they are in fact the heir. And so I implore you to also, if you're new here, find your missing funds, y'all. Go and check to see in your state or wherever you may have lived. There's a national registry that you can start out first, but they want you to put the states that you lived in. See if there's any missing money. And I literally found in the past, I won't say found, but by me talking about it again, I know 5 people who have found missing funds that have been like, thank you so much. Oh no, more than 5. I'm talking about personal 5. There have been people in the community. Matter of fact, some of y'all may be in here tonight. So more than 5. I have 5 personal friends that have found missing money since I started talking about this again, and probably another 5 or 10 in this community. So I really want us to be diligent about making sure the man stop taking advantage of our money. You know, we have options. You would like the link to my book too? Which book is that, Christine? Better get your unclaimed money before yeah, it's yours. It is yours. It is yours. And it could pay for something. Groceries, whatever, you know, the $45 avocados that we gonna have to start paying. Child, get your money. Hey, Juanita. Yes, no, listen, I'm here only to be, you know, a vessel to just share gems that I have learned along the way without, you know, any other motive. Then I really want us to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. Girl, what quotes? Did I say something about quotes? Oh my gosh, my mind, what is happening? The book that has those quotes in it. Child, you may have to text me because I don't know what book you're talking about. Exactly. Can go towards your plane ticket, could go towards if you're trying to get residency someplace. Are you talking about the manifestation journal and tracker? That's what you're talking about? I think so. I think that's what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, text me. But yeah, so I really just wanted to come in because when I see something, I say something. And this right here, like I said, it started with me ordering this book, right? It started with me ordering this book. I did an unboxing. I'll leave the video to that. But I didn't open, it was still in plastic. And so leading up to our session on Saturday, I opened this and I was like, this is really well put together. And then I went on Amazon and I saw the comments, and then I saw it was by Peter Parker Press. And I'm like, oh my gosh, see, Peter Parker Press. I don't know if you could see that. Great company. I used to get, when we did events for my travel community, that's who would supply my travel books, my travel journeys, and all of that, my travel journey books and stickers and all of that. So I love that company. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to tell my peoples. I got to tell my people about that. So the other thing I want to say is, in addition to, you know, me going live here, which I plan to do a couple more this week because I have some other things I want to talk about. We have our Flawless Gymnation community, which launches again starting this Thursday. We launched in we go live once a week, once a week, and then we have a game night once a month. And we've been doing that since the beginning of January. We took a hiatus last week, but we're back this week. And I'm going to put that link in the chat for anyone who wants to join. It's a private community. And you're more than welcome to join us for this Thursday. If you're already part of Flawless, an email went out on how you can sign up again. There's going to be a whole new email list. So if you've signed up before, that email list is being scrapped. You have to re-register, because I know a lot of people signed up during the holidays. Some people never attended. I need to be able to manage everyone who wants to come back. I got a couple emails now. I don't know if anybody's been able to sign up yet, but I just got an email, somebody saying that they weren't able to sign up. So I'm gonna put this link in the chat. If you want to join the Flawless community, I'm putting that in the chat now. If you want to join, and Flawless just means clarity. We meet so that we can build with each other with all the chaos that's going on right now, and have a community that can not only talk about the problems, but find solutions for us as a community. We have some really dynamic women in the community where we share gems, you know, from nurses to real investors to all the things. So if you want to join the community, I'm putting the link in right now. If you want to join the Maximize Assets, Grow Abundance community, I've already put that link in. The Flawless community is super reasonable. So, and like I said, we do a fun game night once a week, and there's prizes and everything from gift cards to, what else have we given away? health stuff. Like anyway, we have a good time. So I put that link in. That link is also in the description, I believe. I don't want to lie about that, but I believe it's in the description. And yeah, I'm going to put the link to this estate planning document, and it will also include D, I think weren't you part of the community? If I'm not mistaken, I just saw your question. I think you were part of the community. But the link is there, and you can, yeah, it does, depending on which level you came in at. So I forgot what I was going to say. So yeah, so these are private communities. Like this is public is YouTube. Public is YouTube. We could come here, we could have a good old time, we could chit chat, all the things. Or you can join, there's a YouTube private community where we'll meet a couple times a month. We'll have one game night a month. But that is public as well. Like you're not coming up to talk, like the private community, we're on Zoom and everybody's speaking and everybody's sharing their personal stuff, right? So yeah, so that is absolutely a private community, but it's open to for you to join. And what was I going to say? Yeah, so there's a YouTube community as well. Again, that is just really coming on with some real deep, not behind the scenes, but conversations that we can't really share publicly. Sometimes those are necessary. And when I say we, I mean me, because I'll be the only one really speaking. You could speak in the chat. That's up to you. And yeah, I spoke about maximize. And then I'm going to have this document with, you know, the links where if you want to get a one-on-one or personal conversation with our resident expert who deals with estate planning, her information will be there, as well as links to other resources, articles. We cannot be 78% of the Maximize Assets Grow Abundance community does not have a will or a trust. My mission is within the next month, that number will be dwindled down, right? That's another reason why we're talking about this. That's another reason why we had Tawana come in and speak on Saturday. That's another reason why I gifted 2 consultations with Tawana for people to get on the right track, and they may be under planned, right? An old will that they never looked at in the past 15 years, but things may have changed, and you need to review them. You need to review them. Some people say once a year. Listen, I don't know if that's necessary. Whenever there's a life change, at least once every couple of years, you need to change. If somebody is no longer here that you want it to be your health proxy, you need to change that. You know, so again, those links will be, the link to her contact information will be in that document. I will post it in the community, on the community page. You can, you know, it's a Google Doc. It's nothing fancy, or it might be a PDF, either or, but it will be linked by tomorrow. You can check that out and use all the resources and make sure that we stay ready. So yes, Christine, you were lucky enough to win. Absolutely. Oh, good, good, good. And in the document, I'm going to do another document that just has all of the resources, because some of y'all are new to the community and haven't been here since November, but there's a whole lot of resources that I have put together to make sure that we stay ready from a mental, from a physical, from a financial, from a spiritual, like all of the things, right? So, and from a business standpoint, there are so many resources, some free, some not free. Like our Stay Ready certification and remote jobs document, that is not free. I just updated it yesterday. So it's a working doc. I update it at least once a month. So far, it's been twice and 3 times a month with resources for anyone who is looking. Maybe I'll put that in here too. So for people who come later. Yeah, for anybody who wants to find remote work, who wants to level up their certifications and knowledge. So Coursera just came out yesterday with a new course for our agile management. So think Scrum Master, excuse me. They just came out with a new course, which can take a week for you to complete. Like all the certifications, especially if people are worried about getting laid off, if people are worried about getting downsized or whatever, having certifications where you can then consult, work freelance, start your own business, or even find other remote jobs or other jobs, period. We need to stay ready, y'all. So I'm going to put because a lot of y'all, like I said, are new and may not have seen those videos in the past. D, which course? I'm a repost it right now and pin it. It's also in the description, but this is, let me just stay. This is the certification and remote jobs. And this also has clickable links. So any resource that I give you, there's a link there that it takes you straight to the website or straight to the resource where you can do your own research. I'm going to repost the Maximize Assets Grow Abundance link right now. And we start this on March 22nd, and it goes for 4 weeks. And you also get the replays for this. So if you just so happen can't miss a course, just so happen you can't make a course, I'm simplifying it, and it's Maximize Assets, Grow Abundance, Wealth Creator course. The acronyms may look familiar, but we on a different type of time with our acronyms. So I just reposted it again. You can sign up. There's a payment plan, and we're coming off of our amazing winter cohort, which has been spectacular. So please try to join if you can, because we won't be back in the summer. The next time we'll come back earliest is fall, but we'll see. So I think that's the link you were talking about, D. Okay, so let me see. You'll check them out now. Perfect. Yes, I thought, for some reason, I thought D was in the Flawless community. Yes, LJ1 too. The winner circle is in the building. Yes. And that's the other thing. You end up, for the price that you pay, the resources, I think the majority of people have won something. And these consultations can be anywhere from like $250 to over $1,000, depending on which one you win. So like I said, we have a financial wealth manager who owns his own wealth management company, has had his wealth management company for 17 years this year, but has been on Wall Street for over 30 years. He's passionate about our community. He speaks all of the money languages. He speaks Hebrew. He speaks Arabic. He speaks Espanol. Like, he speaks all the languages. And not that he's doing that in course, but what I'm saying is he has been around these people long enough. He has a lot of money under asset management, and he is sharing the truth about investing and what the robin barons, as we call them, how they make money in these times, how they protect their money. And one of the things that I'll just say, hopefully, yeah, you got to focus on where the puck is going versus where it is or where it's been. Like, you really have to pay attention to what's about to shake this world upside down. And that's, and smart, strong companies. Let's just say that. So I think that's pretty much it, y'all. I don't see any questions. Y'all don't have any questions? Hey, Siobhan, can't thank you enough for what you're doing you thanked me enough. just be about that action, and that's the thank you. That's the only thank you I need. If you know you're doing something, because again, I'm not doing this for entertainment, for play. This is really a mission, and I think a divine mission that has been bestowed upon me. And so I really want, wait. So I missed that. I started watching you in October, November, renewed and received your passport in January. Apply received. That is the thank you that I needed. That is the thank you that I needed. Congratulations. Y'all know I got to do a screenshot of this because we haven't done our celebration of all the action takers. Thank you so much for that. Oh my gosh, you just don't know that. That is so amazing. Congratulations to you and your son and everyone who's been here taking action, because I know quite a few of you have. I know Christine got her passport renewed after we started as well. There's been a lot of action takers in here. So I just thank you, one. I thank you all. And again, I hope to see you either on our next live, which is always free. The only thing I ask you to do is hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, or in the Flawless Gemstones community. It's a private membership where we meet once a week to try to strategize and organize and build community, because it's so important to do that. Or in the Maximize Assets, Grow Abundance community, which relaunches on March 22nd with the spring cohort for 4 weeks, where we try to, get you to maximize your assets, child, assets that you may not even know you have, and grow abundance. I did want to show that chart of, let me see if I could pull it up without showing names. Hold on a second, y'all. If I could pull this up without showing names, then I will show you why I literally was like, oh, I got to come online and talks to the people, because I don't know what's going on and why we are not protecting our assets. But I know why. Like, this is new to us. Like, this is so new to us. And okay, I think I could do it without showing y'all the names. One second. I think I can. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me put share, present. Okay, add to stage. Can y'all see this? This was when I was like, oh, oh. Now, granted, only 14 of the 16 people responded with the Q&A. But still, of the 14 people, 11 have neither a will or a trust. Oh, we changing that, honey. We are changing that today. Well, we started it Saturday. But produce this was because we gonna take that 11 and cut that number in half within a month. 4 weeks. I'm a 28-day girl. So within 28 days, I'm gonna be on their necks to make sure that they at least are starting the process, if not finalizing it. But, there was one person who has a trust and 2 people who have a will. I can't talk to you about maximizing your assets and grow abundance and not me, but I mean, I can't build a community and launch a course that speaks to you about maximizing your assets and growing abundance without making sure that you protect those assets and abundance. So anyway, I think I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I just want y'all to see everything I do. There's a rhyme, there's a reason, and there's a passion. And so hopefully, yes, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share this with a friend. You miss your hour, you can feel it. I don't. I just like the sun being out. I think I felt it. but I don't miss it. I'll take a momentary pain for a lifetime of pleasure. But anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna say goodnight with all of that, but do me a favor, just be about that action, y'all. And I so appreciate Siobhan for sharing her story and her commitment and, being silent kind of in the background, right? Not commenting all the time. But listen, when you say stuff like that, you don't need to just do the work. It's about doing the work. And so I thank you for, sharing that with me, because it just gives me the fuel that I need to keep this movement going. And so we will be back tomorrow, actually. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have two things I kind of want to talk about, but I'm not going to share just yet. I'll pray on it. I'll think about it. But we'll be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And it has to do, well, I'm not even going to tell you what has to do it. But anyway, thank you, everyone. I will see you. Good night, Cynthia. Thanks for coming by. Thank you, LJ. Thanks for coming by. But I will see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard as well. And enjoy the extra hour of daylight. Christine, I want you to enjoy it too. And go ahead. The links are in the description, y'all. Be about that action. All right. Good night, everyone.